fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rhythm, both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taking Anderson! Anderson's up top!
Oh my God! Oh! Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Six very close. These guys are going to want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go!
Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my God!
God, what?
This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
California, home to sunny skies, golden beaches, the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, and most importantly, it's where you'll find today's venue, Auto Club Speedway, the first 2-mile track on NASCAR's schedule this year. It's been a permanent fixture since 1997, just after it was built, thanks in fact to Roger Penske and also the Kaiser Steel Company. Extremely wide nature of this track allows drivers to take a wide arc through the corners, maintaining high speeds all around and resulting in tightly packed racing. The facility was used as a stand-in for Daytona International Speedway in the recent film Ford vs Ferrari, and the racing today quite likely going to see 3 and 4 wide action reminiscent of that very super speedway. It's round 3 of the NASCAR iRacing series live on the iRacing Esports Network and presented by SimSpeed TV. My name is Ryan Jones. I'm joined in the booth by Sean Ambrose, and of course Jay Kennedy is behind the scenes. And Sean, you were involved in the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series broadcast a few days ago. The racing there was phenomenal, and with a very similar level of talent out there today, I don't think it's going to be too much of a stretch to expect more of the same.
Oh, baby, did we have a race Tuesday night. Man, I'm telling you, this is going to be one bad, fast racetrack, and it's so wide. We saw 4 and 5 wide at times, especially coming down the front stretch. You know, this track, the distinction of holding a closed course circuit record, buddy, I don't know if you're aware of that, but Jill DeFerrin, 241.428 miles an hour in a kart champ car way back when. So anyway, but listen, the only really big change they've made to this track since 96 when they opened it, well, back in 2001, they put a multi-purpose road course there in the infield of this track that you can see from up top in the blimp. But tonight we'll unleash some of the best on the iRacing service here on SimSpeed TV at Auto Club Speedway. 14 degrees of banking in the turns on this 2-mile D-shaped oval. Jonesy, we're in for a good one tonight. Look for the draft to be really big in this one.
We are, and I talked about the Coke series and some of the drivers we saw in there. A lot of them have turned up tonight. Men that needs no introduction. Ray Alfala's turned up for the show. We've got Garrett Maines. He's not a Pro Series driver, but he's been at the front. He's got an incredible I rating. Jarl Tien's in here. Jimmy Mullis, John Gorlinski. Who else we got? Steve Sheehan's back as always. Chris Overland. I think this is the most Pro Series drivers we've had in here since we've started a couple weeks ago, which means this is going to be an absolute belter of a race. And a lot of the drivers we've seen over the last few weeks are back as well. Guys like Jose Solis Jr., Void Hogan, Jesse Atchison. And in terms of our race winners, race 1, it was Jarrett Liebert that got it done. In race 2, it was Zach Novak that took the win in Vegas. who will do it today. Strength of field 5,780,
Yeah.
so it's right on up there. And qualifying is currently underway.
And, you know, Jones, we got a big wind gusts going across the track. When I talk about across the track, it's the southwest wind, so it's literally coming across the track. Let's just say turns 4 and 3. As you're coming into 3, you're going to hit a crosswind coming across the track on the nose of that car that could wreak havoc. I've already seen it gust up to 18 and 19 miles an hour. It's been very variable, but I think that wind could play a factor in this race this evening. I said this would be very, very draft dependent tonight. Draft is going to play a huge factor in this race. We saw that Tuesday night. We're going to see it again tonight. Jimmy Mullis is in this field. I know you mentioned that, but his qualifying is going on right now. Everybody's starting to get their second laps in. Our pole sitter, Taylor Hurst, at the moment, though, on his last one, coming around.
Provisional pole sitter will be looking to make it more concrete with his second lap. Does go faster, a 40-minute .043. Got about 2/10 over the field at the moment, but a number of drivers yet to set a qualifying time. We may see a large portion of the field opt to not set a time and start from the back, potentially anticipating a large incident at some stage, which is just a result of the pack racing that this track brings. If one driver makes just a slightest error out there on the track, it can have consequences that take out a lot more than just yourself, similar to someone like Daytona and Dega. Let's see where Jimmy Mullis is going to put his machine as he comes across the start-finish line. Mullis puts himself second with a 40.091, and he's just about going to get around to complete a second lap too, which, if he keeps momentum up, should put him up onto provisional pole.
Mullis going down the backstretch into 3. Right now, that wind not gusting. He's died down. Perfect time for a run here. This one should be better, right? He looks hot here coming off the 4, and let's see what he's got here at the line.
39.920, dips into the sub 40 seconds, puts himself up onto pole position. In the end, just 13 drivers electing to qualify here in California. 14, someone got a lap in right at the end. So let's go through the grid and see how they line up in Fontana. Jimmy Mullis will take pole position. He'll start with Taylor Hurst, who is outside. Colin Bowden, David Lamb line up off the second row of the grid. John Gorlinski and Jeremy Allen starting off 5th and 6th. Garrett Maines and Gabriel Mauricio starting 7th and 8th. Top 10 rounded out by Justin Prince and Chris James.
All right, and then P11, it's going to be William Morris this evening, right next to Ryan Kuhn. Row 7, Edward Birch Jr., right next to Jarl Teen in the number 14. Help me out if I got that wrong. Row 8, Ray Alfala, Graham Boland. Row 9, Braden Boulos and Brandon McKissick in the 18. Row 10, going to be Matt Adams and Santiago Tirdes back with us this week.
21st will be Jesse Atchison, who's been at the front in both races so far, joined by Steve Sheehan in 22nd and Boyd Hogan in 23rd. That's a very talented trio outside the 20s. Jose Solis Jr. starting from 24th, Chris Overland 25th with Brian Mercurio alongside him. Daniel Wilborn and Justin Levine 27th to 28th, top 30 concluded by Josh Micklemore and Joshua Campbell.
All right, to get the rest of this field quickly here in 31st, going to be Zach Hudson. Connor Hale starts 32nd. Harrison Lyon, 33rd. I'm sorry, I got that messed up. Joshua Campbell going to start there. 32nd, 33rd, Zach Hudson. Connor Hale, 34th. Harrison Lyon, 35th. Michael Jeans, 36th. And Randall Fox will start 37th in this race. 37 cars, 100 laps, Jonesy. You know, we saw a lot of green flag racing Tuesday night. I expect we're going to get a bit of that here tonight, and that means that fuel window, if they really, really choose to push it, going to get somewhere close to 50. You might be able to one-stop this. We're going to find out if we get that green flag run.
Yeah, that's a big if there, but the talent in the field, it wouldn't be too much of a stretch. Weather conditions up on the screen as well, nice and cool, 29 degrees, track temp 84 Fahrenheit. The wind, as you mentioned, is gusting a little bit, just going up right as I talk about it right now, reaching above 10 miles per hour from the south, and partly cloudy skies, so a bit of sun beating down onto the track. Might see a bit of cloud cover come over at some point. If we get an early caution, the race will definitely turn into a one-stop, maybe even a two-stopper if some drivers... the two-stop's definitely on the cards for a few drivers if they want to try it, depending on where the cautions fall. But I think definitely going to see most of the field try to stretch it long here. And let's see what the racing is like then with Fontana. Will it be as good as we saw a few days ago in the Coca-Cola iRacing series? This is open to everyone, but the top split is right up in that topper echelon of ability and driver level that we see in Pro. Under the sun of the Californian sky, let's get set for 100 laps of Auto Club Speedway as the pace car will dive down and over 20,000 horsepower is unleashed as the green flag is in the air.
Boy, they're really fanning out quickly, heading into one. Be careful, you don't want to stack up here on the first lap.
Top two single file themselves out through the first two corners. That's Jimmy Mullis and Taylor Hurst. Top three, in fact, single file, side by side. John Gorlinsky on the inside of David Lamb. Three wide in the background. 23, the 33 swooping around the outside as they make their way out of turn 4 now. And we're going to get a green flag lap in here. The mid-pack, very congested.
Yes, it is, Jonesy. And Tierrez already picking up 3 spots as they came across the line. He was in a hornet's nest back there, had to make a big save coming out of turn 2.
Managed to hold on to it just enough, and now single or side by side, 3 wide again. Justin Prince, Ray Alfala all the way down on the inside. Gonna have to take a very shallow line through 3 and 4 as out on the outside. Gabriel Mauricio gonna fall backwards as Alfala clears them all through 3 and 4. Gonna be followed through by Gial Tian. Justin Prince on the outside trying to make it work, but gonna go backwards here right in behind Tian. That's gonna single file out the top 12 cars here. In fact, more than that, top 20 or so, all single file.
Yeah, single file, the way to go here early. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it green. But I will tell you, as this track starts to rubber in a little bit, look for that outside line to be a factor. Battle for the lead, though. Hurst and Mullis going at it.
Front, Taylor Hurst gonna take it away. Mullis going backwards here. And Colin Bowden wants a piece of this too. He's gonna get to the inside, but Jimmy Mullis gonna bump draft Hurst down this main straight. And John Gorlinsky is rapidly closing as well, dragging a host of cars with him. Jeremy Allen, Garrett Maines, and David Lamb looking to join the party. As now Bowden, a little bit of contact there with Gorlinsky out of turn 2. Managed to hold on to it, but that was about as close as you want to get to an incident.
Gorlinsky got a friend in Jeremy Allen right now back there. He's got his back door, pushing him on through, making it really tough for Bowden up there to make any kind of move. He's got no help. In fact, he just lost any help as Garrett Maines heads down to the bottom and steps back in line.
Mullis continuing to push Hurst for the lead of the race as well, as now Bowden trying to come back around the outside of Jeremy Allen in that 2 car. Should have the momentum out of the corner and the slipstream, but Gorlinsky goes down to give the slipstream to Jeremy Allen. But the momentum for Bowden up on the outside, very strong. as they were 5 wide in the background for a moment, making their way down to that back straightaway, plenty wide enough to
Absolutely nuts.
sort themselves out before the corner, which they did just about.
And Lyon almost just made contact with Graham Boland. Boland makes a great move to avoid it, but boy, he's got a lot of company there. Lyon really wants that spot. That's a battle back there for 21st.
Oh, up in the fence in the background as well. The leaders, who was that? That was David Lamb, just got into it out of turn 2 to the right side of the car. Loses a lot of momentum. Lost out to Ray Alfalla and going to lose out here, it looks like, to Justin Prince as well. And you get a bit of damage on your car at a high-speed track like this, it is really amplified over some of the other tracks.
He's trying to hold serve here right now as he's picked up the spot. He's got that Ford Mustang running pretty well. He'd like to get back to that pack in front of him, and hey, Ray Alfalla, who sits back there in P7, your first 7 cars all up in that front pack.
Alfalla just got to the inside of Bowden through turn 2, wasn't able to complete the move, sits back in behind him now. So the top 7 have broken away here in the early running on lap 7 of this race. A small gap back to next car in lumps, Jarl Tien, who's found a spot on this lap on David Lamb. A couple of 7 or 8 car strong packs breaking away early on. Not quite seeing the racing we saw on Tuesday at the moment, but still plenty good as he sat around the outside of the 33. That'd be Santiago Tires, a very strong move around the outside of there. And now got to carry the momentum and go to the inside of Chris James. 2 spots and 2 corners, why not, says Tires.
And Tires keeps picking him up and knocking him down. That's 7 spots to the good here early on in the first 8 laps. Tires really seems to have control of it here at the moment. Biggest mover, one of our biggest movers in the field. We haven't even mentioned Chris Overland. Do you see how many spots he's picked up? Overland's up 15 spots already in P10. As they continue to fight up front, Hurst and Gorlinski still going at it. We've gone too wide at the front of the field.
Have indeed, but Mullis going full Daytona spec, staying glued to that rear bumper of Taylor Hurst, but Gorlinski and Allen have managed to manufacture a run to get to their inside nonetheless, and they're 2x2 for the lead of the race as they come across the stripe this time as we pick up 10% race distance in this one. Look at the run that Garrett Main's got in that number 4 car, swoops up to the top of the racetrack. The issue when you're side-by-side like this is very tricky to find a way by without making it 3 or 4 wide. As soon as you do that, the risk factor goes up tenfold. As who's that in the background behind Alfalla and Bowden to the inside of Bowden, it is Jarl Tiens joins the picture of the leading group, and he goes by Bowden as well.
Yeah, I wondered if he was going to catch them. You know, one of the big things we're going to see tonight, if we say green, you lose the draft, you've lost it. It's going to be really hard to get back. Jarl was just back close enough. 3 wide across the line. Jarl all the way down to the inside.
Alfalla's going to be careful here. Squeeze in the middle. Mains just backs out of it and tucks back in. By the time they exit the corner, they're all single file once more. Top 4, not single file at all. Still 2x2. Now that inside starting to get some pretty good momentum built up. Allen doing a good job of pushing Gorlinski around the shortest way round the racetrack. The way it works, of course, the inside is the shortest route around the track. The outside should have the momentum coming out of the corners, but Gorlinski, great run through 3 and 4. And at the line, think he's going to lead the race this time, but Mullis is pushing Hurst back on the approach to turn 1, up on that outside. You get the feeling that these guys are holding up the likes of Alfalla, Tien, Mains, and Bowden behind. And they just sat back waiting for an opportunity to get by right now.
Man, what a log jam here at the front of the field all of a sudden. Everybody was being really nice and behaving themselves in those first 10 laps. They wasted no time getting in the line, and now it's just gone crazy here as we've just gotten over, well, we'll get to lap 12 here at the line. Jonesy, hard on the tires already with all this battling. They've got to be scuffing those things off pretty good. The temperature continues to rise. It's now just about 1 p.m. in the afternoon, virtual standard time, and this track will continue to heat up.
Up a couple of degrees Celsius and a few degrees Fahrenheit as well since the start of the race. So the track's only going to get worse and worse for these drivers as the afternoon sun beats down on the Californian Speedway. That is Auto Club Speedway. And as the sun beats down, it becomes more greasy, more slippery, easy to get loose coming out of the corners, is forcing the issue down to the inside as Yaltian. Allen did not want to give up that inside line, but had no choice as he had almost into the grass to complete that move. And Mullis loses a few spots now, goes in behind both of them. And here comes Rael Fowler. He's got a decent run now. What's he going to do with it? Going to push Yaltian on that inside as the leaders back doors down the back straightaway. And Gorlinski try to take it away from Taylor Hurst, who's finally lost his health. Although so's Gorlinski. Allen's found his way to the outside as Yaltian continues to try and make it work down low. Still, Gorlinski can't clear Hurst. This top pack starting to become real congested here as Mullis gets into the left rear of Allen on the approach to one.
And that pack's getting bigger. Here comes Chris Overland, Justin Prince. They're about to join it. This pack is going to get huge. It's going to be 13 cars deep here in just a moment. In fact, it is, as Overland is already there.
Top six, 2 by 2 by 2 they go through turn 4. And Bowden just sat back wondering why he's in this position right now. As Yaltian is going to go to the inside. It's going to be 3 wide for the lead of the race. And John Gorlinski, as soon as he cleared Hurst, is now having to worry about the inside being taken away from him by Yaltian. 3 wide behind them. Jeremy Allen moves up to the top to help Gorlinski as Rael Fowler goes low to give a push to the back of Yaltian. Fowler and Tian have been working well together in this early running. It seems as whenever Tian makes a move, Fowler's there to give him a helping hand. There's contact in the background. 2 cars around into the infield. Who was that? Garrett Maines involved. Caution flies, and we're under the pace car for the first time today.
It was Maines, and Overland got hooked up in that one. Boy, I talked about all those spots Overland was picking up, and just like that, it was gone.
We'll go back, have a look at the replay to see how that one unfolded. It's coming out of turn number 4. Garrett Maines just going for the over-under on Chris Overland in front of him. And Overland just came down a little bit, I think, to defend that inside from Maines. And that's what caused the contact. Fortunately for both of those drivers, that will have very, very minimal damage to their car, a slightest touch. So they should be able to get back into this one pretty easily.
Connor Hale gonna be one of the cars that gets through this. That car right in front of him, that was Daniel Wilbon. And you want to talk about a wild ride. He had one down to the grass. That car went spinning, and Daniel saved it. I don't think he picked up any damage, but he was definitely the last one to get back to the track after all that. Here we go. We got an onboard with it. And we... finally gets it sorted and back up on track.
So I hazard a guess, we're going to see everyone dive down onto pit road then, as they are led by John Gorlinski, who was the leader when that caution flew. I'll tell you what, Yaltian's done a good job up to second from 14th. Got to be careful here. Make sure you don't slide through your box with the field all coming down at once. Just sliding past your pit marker will cost you a ton of spots. as those guys that started at the back will dive down into their box first. Likes of Gorlinski, Allen, Mullis will dive down, and Mullis will have that #1 pit stall, so should be able to pick up a couple spots. Someone's gone straight through the lane. That's Justin Levine. Dare say he's missed his bay.
Mullis gets down off the jack, but it's Gorlinski that gets out first.
Jeremy Allen able to jump the RT in as well. And it looks like Raul Fowler is going to have to sort in behind Taylor Hurst. Not too many big movers and shakers. Doesn't look like anyone had too many issues there on pit road that time. Garrett Maines, a long stop in the #4 machine involved in the caution bringing incident. Just having a look at his car, though. Doesn't look to be too much damage on it. Maybe the slightest a bit of fender work needed to be done to the front right, but otherwise, that car looking pretty clean.
Yeah, not too bad. You know, it looks like everybody's going to get away from that one pretty well. Ryan Kuhn, the only driver that's really spent an extensive amount of time in the pits, and looks like he's going to get his car back out as well. Levine finally coming down for his stop. That'll get him out of the lead pack.
One to green low, a very short caution period here. No one was a lap down, so don't need to give everyone a wave around or a lucky dog. A few drivers electing to take another tour through the lane. And I remember we talked about, I'm not sure if it was with Sean or Jay that I had this conversation. If a caution came out at lap 20, it'd be very interesting, because it'd turn the make sure everyone needs to pit once more in this race, but it opens up a bit of strategy as to whether you pit early or late in the stint to get home to the end. You can pit anywhere from around lap 50 onwards, and you'd be able to make it home. So this could bring in a bit of strategy with this one stopper.
If the temperature on this track continues to go up like I think it's going to here in this race, I don't know if you're going to want to try and make it on a long stint. So we'll see how that develops. We'll certainly see if we get any more cautions. We made it 20 laps without one, or close to 20 laps without one, and the lights are out. We're ready to get back to green flag racing here in Fontana, California, right down the mountain from me.
Let's get this one back underway. Then it'll be John Gorlinski and Jeremy Allen leading us across the start-finish. Stripe as a pace car gets out of the way of a hungry pack of drivers and cars. The field backs up. Green flag flies. We're back underway. Even start from top two. A good restart for Jeremy Allen. In fact, the top two both dropping off. Third place, Yal Tian and Jimmy Mullis. That second row failing to fire. They'll claw their way back, though, through Warren Sewers. The draft comes into effect now, and Tian gets to the inside of Allen, who's just sliding on those cold tyres a little bit, and Jimmy Mullis finds his way to the inside. 3 wide then for third place, down the back straight away. Mullis trying to find the whole shot through the middle.
You don't want turn 3 to turn into a parking lot. They do get it sorted out and get back to double file racing. They were 3 wide, and look at this, fanning out again.
A lot of drivers struggling on these cold tyres. Mullis, Alfala, Allen, all having to correct the car. As you can see, a car around the background down on the pit road. I think he went, so we stay green as they fan out at the front. The tyres now starting to come up to temp. Oh, not for Jimmy Mullis. He's sideways out of turn 2. Going to keep it off the fence out of all the other cars. Yes, he can, but he's going to go a long way back in this field. And cold tyres, well, they are an absolute pain.
I spied what happened with Micklemore in the back. It wasn't good. Those cold tires bit him really bad. He got really, really loose, saved the car, made a little bit of contact with Zach Hudson, or I believe it was Jesse Atchison. But he survives that as we continue to battle up front.
Galtian takes the lead away then. They're battling for second behind him. It's John Gorlinski and Taylor Hurst. Jeremy Allen pushing Gorlinski back up towards the front of the field. Gorlinski trying to make it work on the outside. Now the tyres be up to temp. Now they can really push their cars once again without worrying about getting some snap oversteer through the corner. Look how close Gorlinski gets to the side of Taylor Hurst, banging doors through the main straight. And Hurst giving a strong push to the back of Galtian. Despite all that as well, they're racing for keeps here on lap 24.
I feel like I'm at my local short track here for a moment. And we're at a 2-mile speedway. That's like 60 lanes wide.
60 lanes wide, but you still got to bang those doors, try and use that side shaft effect. Regardless of how effective it may or may not be. As very wide out of the corner that time was Taylor Hurst up top.
He had to
And
get
what
out.
about Allen? He goes down to the inside. Jeremy Allen, Hurst almost got to the start of Colin Bowden behind them as well. Someone's going backwards, getting put through the middle. In the background, I believe that'll be Santiago Tires, who just went backwards in behind Matt Adams. And Harrison Lyon tried to make it work on the inside, still to the inside of Santiago Tires now, who's had a pretty good race so far, up 12 spots, not quite as good as the up 14 that Galtian is to be leading this race as they come across the line once more. And it seems that every lap it becomes more and more tight at the front as Matt Adams trying to go around the outside of Ray Alfalla through 1 and 2. Going to get a big slipstream effect off the 3 cars in front of him down this back straightaway. Up against the fence in the back straightaway. It's incredibly bumpy, extremely difficult to keep the car in a straight line, especially as the tyres wear.
Jonesy, you know who's coming to the party? Steve Sheehan. He's here. Right to the inside of Tires, and he has worked his way up through the field since that restart. Car's looking strong as he works that bottom line.
Steve Sheehan has been at the front for all of the races, for both races so far. Going to continue that trend now then, as he gets to the inside of Santiago Tires. Nowhere for him to go though. His blocks are in behind Harrison Lyon.
Ooh, what a big
aggressive block behind Sheehan. That was Graham Boland throwing the big block of Justin Prince.
Oh, JP, good job, buddy.
This is aggressive for lap 27, isn't it, Sean?
Yes, it is.
We saw this on Tuesday, I believe, Monday night for you though. And it was more of the same though. That was a phenomenally clean race.
It really, really was. And a lot of on the edge of your seat moments, just like we've had here in the season. Harrison Lyon, another one of those drivers that's moved up a bunch of spots and is really competitive right now.
Gorlinski has got back to the inside of Galtian up front. Oh, just a little bit loose coming off the exit of 4 down on the inside. Although, as they come across the stripe, it'll be about a dead heat between them as the field closes up. Who was that? Bowden had to dart to the inside to avoid drilling with the left rear of Taylor Hurst's machine. Just about kept it off the back of that Cup car. As Harrison Lyon is starting to make some progress now on the inside of Ray Alfalla.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty strong.
Yeah, man,
Up
that
from
car is
33rd.
He has got the. I'll tell you what, the Mustangs that are hooked up in this field are awful fast, and that is one of them right there. Don't give up on Prince. He's back there. He's struggling right now. He's back there fighting with the likes of Overland and Mullis, and not a bad group of guys to have to fight with right now.
It's not. Harrison Lyon got that move done. Steve Sheehan followed him through. Now Alfalla's having to defend from Graham Boland as well as Gorlinski now. It's a switch around at the front. Galtian to the inside. Gorlinski to the outside now. Mirror image of what we saw a lap ago. but Tian takes it back away, and Gorlinski goes backward on the high line. Jeremy Allen looking to take P2 away. Taylor Hurst, what's he going to do? He's going to push John Gorlinski back towards the front as Allen opts not to take it 3 wide this time at least. Big run for Gorlinski. Couldn't use it, but Tian can't quite clear him. Down to this back straight away as Hurst now looks to the middle and decides there's probably not any room for him to make that one work as he tries to arc his way through the corner, keep the car as straight as possible from the high to the low, back to the high side, through the corner as John Gorlinski wipes his nose across that back bumper, gets back to the inside. Hurst is going to push him through.
Wow. And Tian, I'll tell you what, he is...
making it stick. If you want to see live timing as well, you can click the link in the YouTube description or go to simspeed.live and you can see where your favourite driver is running in this field. What about 3 wide for the lead of the race? All the way down on the inside, Taylor Hurst. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. Gorlinski just finds his place in front of Jeremy Allen, and they filter themselves back to side by side. Steve Sheehan joining the party.
Gorlinski all the way to the bottom. Here comes Sheehan right at his back door. Sheehan was just trying to get to 10th, and now he's sitting there at P3 looking for a battle up front, bringing out Fowler with him.
Door to door once again. Gorlinski and Tian up front, but again it's a dead heat as they come through one. And Gorlinski, these guys just stuck side by side. Look how many cars are in this leading group of competitors now, as Jeremy Allen wants to find his way to the middle. That's a closing gap. Backs out of it for the best as Fowler and Hurst started getting closer and closer across his front bumper.
Yeah.
And again, the gap closes, coming out of 2. Steve Sheehan finds his way to the inside of Jarl Tian, takes it through the middle for the lead of the race, trying to take it away from Gorlinski, door to door into turn number 1, trying to make it work round the outside. Look at the run that he's got, and Steve Sheehan goes to the front in that number 16 machine. What a move.
Just insane, the amount of respect, give and take that's going on here in this race. It's either a huge amount of respect or a huge amount of luck or somewhere in between. But this is just incredible. And again, this is not just what's going on up front. This goes back, right now, this goes back 15 cars deep.
Oh, bold. Almost contact with Allen, just about kept it off the left rear, just about kept it off the right rear as well of that number 2 machine. Now gets the run out of 2 and goes to the inside as Jarl Tian ducks down a few lanes to try and shake the drive that Steve Sheehan's getting, courtesy of a big push of Gorlinski and Fowler in 4th. And Taylor Hurst in 5th. The only car right now looking comfortable, just single file. He's got 2 wide behind him. He's got the mess in front of him. That's the battle for the lead. Just in the middle of all of that right now. A little bit further back. They're side by side. But John Gorlinski back to the inside. And he's going to have help from Fowler out of turn 2 this time. Sheehan trying to help tee it up on the outside as Gorlinski finds a hole, puts his car in it, goes back to the high line.
Jonesy, your top 12 has 9 pro drivers, okay? 3 drivers in the top 12 just wearing that blue stripe on it. But what a battle we've got here.
Top 4.
Literally the top 20.
Top 4 of all NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series drivers. They did this exact race a few days ago on the big show. And on the big stage, they put on a big show. Oh, they had so much fun. They had to come back and do it again. Contact, What a save from Taylor Hurst.
How did he
Oh
not wreck?
boy, Graham
How
Boland
did
got
he
into
not
that left rear. That was a phenomenal cash from Hurst.
Don't see any damage on Hurst's car. I think he's going to get away clean on that.
Props as well.
Oh, we got a spinner, and it's Colin Bowden all by himself off of 4. Do we have a caution? No, it stays green.
We stay green, and that's the second spinner that's not brought out a caution. Oh, there it is. Caution flies. And again, they still won't be able to make it home from here if it goes green off this restart. They're going to come down to pit lane, but still going to need to pit if it goes green. So still, another pit stop to come in this one.
I think Bowden had a little bit of help here, and I don't think it was net code. I think Matt Adams is going to get there and maybe just get a little bit of the right front to his left rear, and it's going to get Bowden around. See the contact there. Right front damage for Adams, but it's Bowden that winds up in the infield and bringing out that caution.
If you're watching your driver out on the track and you're noticing that he hasn't got his paint scheme on the broadcast, make sure you hit him up. Tell him, hey, go upload your paint to SimSpeed, to the SimSpeed website. Just got to create an account and then upload it to the paint booth in the NASCAR iRacing Series section to have that scheme show up on the broadcast. And we will have, hopefully, by the end of the season, a full 37-car field, all with their schemes on full display.
And how convenient we get another caution, another 20 laps in the books, and everybody's coming in because tires are king, baby. Good friend of mine told me that. I never forget it.
Was it your buddy Challoner?
No, it's actually the great Richie Hearn, former IndyCar driver, who told me once and reminded me, yes, sir, tires are king. That was his words exactly.
And in a move surprising absolutely no one, the whole field dives down to take those fresh tires, 2 full cans of fuel, and they'll get their machines back out on track behind the pace car. Still got 37 drivers on the lead lap. No one actually retiring from this race as a result of incidents so far, as the race out of pit road going to be won by... Was that John Golinski?
No, it was... Hang on a second, but Braden Boulos... Boulos? Okay. All right, I tried to make it a little more French than it probably is, but Boulos, he came out first. Did he or did he not?
Did he? I can't see him. He didn't stop. That'll be why Sean may have missed
he drove
his
straight.
pit box.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Yeah, driven through it. Dare say we'll see him come back into pit road. Doesn't make too much sense in staying out now, I do believe. We'll go to a quick break here on SimSpeed TV. When we come back, we'll have the restart here from Fontana at Auto Club Speedway. Stay tuned on the iRacing Esports Network. Welcome back to Auto Club Speedway. Just in time for the restart here. Another short caution period. It'll be John Golinski and Yaltian off that front row. Steve Sheehan, Taylor Hurst off row 2 to get us back underway. Restart number 2 in California, and Golinski, a shocker of a start. The field fans out, and this is a mess. As they're 3 wide for second place, someone would have got a black flag for sure. Down there further back, didn't quite catch who it was. Might have been Santiago Tires.
Yeah.
As there's contact. Jeremy Allen, can he catch it? Yes, he can. Please stay green. Field has to scatter. And this is a messy restart then. They're 3 wide, almost 4 wide for third place as John Golinski down on the inside, trying to fend off Steve Sheehan behind. Yaltian to the outside. Kane Cook and Graham Boland are making their way through as Taylor Hurst His car gets a tank slapper out of 4.
Yeah, I don't know how he caught that. Yeah, these restarts are going to be really, really tense into turn 1 and into turn 3. And finally, a little sanity takes over. But I say that, Tian, big trouble up there on the outside.
Just about holds on to Witt, relinquishes second spot to Steve Sheehan, and the biggest gap we've seen all night for the race leader, John Gorlinski, by a few tenths of a second. See if Steve Sheehan, I dare say, he'll get caught pretty quickly with this big, hungry pack of cars in behind, as Steve Sheehan has got Jarl Tian to his outside, as trying to find a way through in the background. Who's lap making an aggressive move to the inside of Harrison Lyon? It's Chris Overland who's back to the front.
He's back.
And Garrett Maines is back there as well. So Overland and Maines have worked their way back into this leading group of cars, and they've got some speed. Chris Overland, though, losing the momentum after making that move, has to fall in behind Mullis. And Jeremy Allen and Taylor Hurst. Mullis, another driver that's recovered after not an incident, but a big moment where he dropped a handful of spots and went backwards in the field. He's back up there then, right in front of Overland and Maines, who makes a big move to the inside, just about to avoid contact.
He really does. Made that in front of Justin Brents. He just can't seem to find a break tonight. Prince down there on the inside. He's going to fight with Brandon McKissick on the outside. McKissick going to try and get this move done.
Look at Overland. He's all the way down, almost to the inside of the track, trying to prevent Tian from going to his inside. So Tian's going to go around the long way through 3 and 4. Oh, Kane Cook, Steve Sheehan, a little bit of contact behind them. But they keep it out of the fence. They keep it pointed straight, and Rael Fowler now finds an opportunity to go to the inside as Harrison Lyon, an aggressive push to the back of Kane Cook. Got him a little bit sideways across the start-finish stripe. But once more, no incident unfolds from that as Jeremy Allen goes to the middle now. Look at Overland. Hard on the defence from Jarl Tian. And Tian wants that inside. Gorlinski will not give it up as they're 3 wide still behind them. Top 2 have broken away, but doing themselves no favours as Rael Fowler clears Sheehan, puts himself into 3rd. Top 5 goes single file, 3 wide for 6.
And Mullis just can't get out of that sucker hole back there. He's stuck. He's right there glued to the back of Graham Boland's car, trying to slip out for a little bit of air. He finally got it. He breaks away and gets out of the middle.
Oh, in the background, Garrett Maines all the way down to the apron. Might have been a little bit of contact, might have been evasive action for contact or for an incident once again with Chris Overland. Maybe Overland very aggressive defending that spot as a result of prior events in this race, as Sheehan and Alfala now closing on the top 2. It was side by side, door to door still on lap 49 of this event, on board with Alfala on the approach through 1. You see how close it is in front of him down this back straightaway, and you'll see the bumps up against the fence that he has to contend with as he draws up to the back bumper of the number 7 in front of him.
Jonesy, the battle just behind this front pack is even better. Hurst got the better of it at the moment, but here comes Maine. Here comes a whole angry pack of Cup cars just behind him. They're going to get this all back together here in a matter of about 2 laps.
Jimmy Mullis going to try and swoop around the outside of Alfala and Sheehan, but he can't do it. Top 5, all black stripe drivers now. Jeremy Allen and Graham Boland watching on top 8, sorry, all black stripe drivers. There you go.
And you just see the onboards and the bumpiness of this track. It's such a washboard. Why? Because, well, folks, it sits at the bottom of a mountain, practically desert-like terrain, if you will. The ground always shifting, always dry, and that's what it's done to this track surface, is just turned it into a washboard.
Haynes and Overland are side by side again. Can they do it this time without making contact? Third time of asking for those drivers. As right in behind them, they've got another fellow joining the party, the 24 of Justin Levine, trying to find his way by them, but not going to happen. What are the top 12 separated, top 13 separated by 1 second as they come across the stripe once more. And look at the push that Sheehan is giving to Gorlinski out front. Going to push him clear of Jarl Tian through turn 1, but Tian's going to have that run. Momentum coming out of turn 2. Gorlinski's going to slide up in front of him. Oh, he can't quite do it. Gorlinski has to give him the spot or the room up on the high side.
Amazing
wide
racing.
for
We'll see it
the
through
inside.
wide.
Hurst almost into the fence there.
Still a strong pack. Really, nobody has lost this draft. Except for Micklemore, who had that problem and is still fighting hard, but he still finds himself, what, 3.5 seconds behind Jesse Atchison. He's got no help out there.
Santiago Tires too has gone 2 laps down as a result of what I can only imagine was a black flag for passing on the inside before the start and finish stripe on that restart.
Yeah.
We saw that with that very chaotic restart that time by. And unfortunately he's gone victim to that. Couple caution zone might help him out as Jarl Tian. What about the inside to do for it this time? No, he doesn't. Happen to go to the outside once again with help from Steve Sheehan. And these 3 cars about half a car length in front of Ray Alfalla, and Jimmy Mullis is back in the picture. Up here in 4th place on the inside of Alfalla, just about takes it away in a similar position to what Gorlinski is with Jarl Tian at the moment.
It's still Tian, who's just really been one of the more aggressive drivers in this race. But again, that car just really hooked up, and he get a little bit of help from Sheehan now. Again, the top side of the track really working. We haven't talked about the temperature in a while. You know why? Because it really hasn't changed much. It's hung out at about 85, 87 degrees. We're at about 85 right now, but the wind continues to be variable. Doesn't look like it's played much of a factor. Sheehan all over the place back there. Can't find a partner he likes.
Not going to have Ray Alfalla to help it, because Alfalla made a big move to get out from behind Jimmy Mullis to his inside. Got to the inside of Steve Sheehan. Now Mullis going to push Steve Sheehan along the stretch into 1, and Sheehan's going to get very close to the back of Jarl Tian and not quite going to get there. Top 8 side by side, 2 by 2 through 1 and 2. Gorlinski's pushing up the track, very close between himself and Tian. Those two, if they got single file, I reckon might have the pace on this field, because even side by side, they're doing a pretty good job of keeping about a 10th of a second gap back to this third group, or back to this third place pack.
Trying to make the side draft work, and that's what Alfalla, Sheehan are doing as well back there. Actually, the front 6 really seem to have that under control. You get back behind that, it gets a little bit more dicey. Feel really singled out from there.
If a caution was to come out now, they'd be able to pit under the caution flag and make it home to the end. So the pit window is open. Don't suspect anyone will want to come down. The likelihood of seeing a caution, you put yourself in a very bad spot strategy-wise. They're all going to hang out there as long as they possibly can. As Alfalla got a little bit loose through 2. Almost into the side of Mullis. Tian finally gets to the inside of Gorlinski. Sheehan going to give him the helping hand across the start-finish stripe. And Jarl Tian just hangs Gorlinski out a little bit wide on the entry to 1. Gives himself much-needed space through turn 2. Gaps him by a little bit down to this back straight away. And Steve Sheehan's going to have to slot in behind Gorlinski. But an aggressive move from Gorlinski to the left rear of Jarl Tian. And that was very close. Gorlinski is just washing up a bit out of turn 4. Going to lose a bit of momentum from that now, but that was aggressive.
All right. When you asked me to do this with you, I didn't think it was going to be this crazy. This is just insane. As they continue to go 3 wide here at Fontana. I should call it Auto Club. I'm sorry, Auto Club Speedway.
Well, it's in Fontana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fontana,
well,
California.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that's the place.
Speedway for it is, yes.
3 wide once again. Sheehan down to the inside of Yaltian and John Gorlinski. 3 abreast for the lead. Who's going to come out of turn 4 up front? It's going to be Steve Sheehan. He made that momentum work beautifully through 3 and 4 that time. It's going to be a dead heat across the line. If that was the end of the race, it'd be .012 between the top 3 cars. Now that would be quite the finish.
Alfala continues to push it. Boy, that car really slowly right now.
Boy! Sheehan chased him all the way to the apron and then some. Gorlinski wants that inside line, but Sheehan not gonna give it up. As Alfala, Allen, Mullers, Boland sit back and watch this, they want to get involved, but they must be thinking, how has there not been a wreck in front of us? Because this is some of the most aggressive racing you'll see on a 2-mile racetrack, and it's just round 3 of the season.
Round 3.
This is going to be an incredible 35-week season ahead of us.
Mullis, about a lap ago, really looked like he was struggling with the car, trying to hang on to it. I'm sure everybody may be struggling a little bit with it now, 20 laps into this run, but Mullis especially, again, the car looked like it was going to whip around on him. He's got it back under him again. As we see a battle for the lead, 3 wide as they just came across the stripe.
Gorlinski got to the inside as a line that he wanted so badly. Yaltian dropped back and tucked in behind. Jimmy Mullis with a run on the outside of Graham Boland. Does he make the move to the inside as Sheehan tries to snake the draft and gets turned? Just John Gorlinski spinning across the grass. Can he keep it on the grass and off the racetrack? Caution's out.
Well, man.
Somehow, no contact with anyone else. That car will be good to go. But that all stems an aggressive block. Talk us through it, Sean.
You just said it, the aggressive block. Tian's going to come in here, and Gorlinski going to get down there and keep going down there, and a little bit of contact. Watch her get up on 2. Woohoo! That real Dukes of Hazzard stuff there on 2 wheels, and then back up across the line in the middle of the track. That triggers the caution. But Gorlinski is going to escape this one, survive it with no damage. Everybody going to come down pit lane. Jonesy, you can make it to the end from here. Full show.
Yep, and I don't think that's going to be the last aggressive block or attack that we see in this one. Aggression somehow is going to expect to be turned up another notch in this race. They know that they can make it home from here. No more guarantees of a break in the racing action with a pit stop. It could very well go green to the end from here. So this is the money stop. You cannot make a mistake here. Hit your marks. Be as aggressive as you can into your box, but don't slide through it. You'll ruin your race. As Steve Sheehan, a very early pit bay for him, having qualified 22nd. And finally, we have a lucky dog in this race. Santiago Tires will get one of his 2 laps back. One more caution, he'll get back on the lead lap. The race off of pit road. You see it from the cone cam there. Steve Sheehan going to lead them. Yaltian second. Harrison Lyon third. Jimmy Mullis fourth. Graham Boland, Allen, Alfala, Cook, Levine, Garrett Maines, your top 10, or roughly your top 10.
Wow, wow, wow. Boy, this has been tense. I need a massage. We have time for a massage? No?
No, we don't. If you... a big day too coming up for us here at SimSpeed TV. Just a few hours after this race concludes, myself and Jay behind the scenes, we've got to go and do round 3 of the international region of the Majors Series, also on the iRacing Esports Network. K&N Cars at Rockingham. That should be a pretty wild race, that one. And then, at just a little bit before midnight Australian Daylight Time, SimSpeed are back for the 3rd race of the day. Poor Jay in the background is going to do all 3. That is the final round of the qualifying series for the Porsche Esports Super Cup. So yet another race full of talented drivers at the top of their game, vying for a spot in the big leagues there. Top 20 will go through. Those on the cusp are going to have to fight hard later on tonight or tomorrow morning if you're watching in America. But a big day on the iRacing Esports Network for SimSpeed TV. Three drivers fighting for the last spot into the big leagues in the Porsche Qualifier Series, so that's going to be one to watch for sure. And Sean, you've got a race coming up in about 30 minutes too, don't you?
Yeah. The Sim Racers over on the Global Sim Racing channel. The Sim Racers for Mental Health tonight, the Shine MSD 250 from Daytona International Speedway. 100 laps tonight in the Gander trucks, my friend. And yes, I'll be peeling away from this one and going to produce that one. Justin Prince, in fact, who is in this race, will be on lead comms. And
wait,
our
so
buddy,
this runs long.
yeah. Well, we got our buddy Rocky Stallone ready to go. Yes, his name is Rocky, and he's with us tonight, and he may be getting us kicked off with that coverage, Jonesy. He doesn't know that yet. He doesn't know that yet.
I apologize in advance if Sean has to duck away before the end of this broadcast. He will be stuck with Jay Kennedy alongside me. It's a downgrade if ever there's been one, but at least he knows how the microphone works.
Boy, that's not uncomfortable, Clarence.
The relationship between the three of us is just bagging each other out, really. Don't take anything that we ever say seriously. We're not doing this seriously, are we? It's just, it's all banter for us. Jay's an integral part of the Australian sim racing community, on the director's chair for every single broadcast on SimSpeed TV. Without him, SimSpeed wouldn't exist.
We got him blushing in the background. All right, we're into 3. Sheehan's going to pace this field.
Well, this is the restart where you leave nothing on the table because there's no guarantees of another one in this race. Steve Sheehan, Yaltian, off the front row of the restart here. Will it be as wild as the last one as Sheehan backs them up, jumps on that throttle, green flag back in the air at Auto Club, and a good restart, a good jump for Sheehan. Tien's not quite able to gap Harrison Lyon, who's getting the mother of all pushes from Graham Boland down on the inside. Finally, Jimmy Mullis able to hook up to the back of Tien's machine, but a little bit too late. He's going to lose that spot to Lyon, and watch as they slip and slide on these cold tyres. Steve Sheehan throws the block on Harrison Lyon into turn 3 and almost gets into his left side door as they make their way into the corner. Oh boy, Jimmy Mullis and Yaltian almost losing it through 4.
Yeah, and we said these restarts, they've all been crazy. This one hasn't been any different. Now things, I say, want to get settled down, but look at this battle going on just behind him with Wilbur and Prince, Shelton, all of them 4 wide back there. And it's cutting to the middle. It's Taylor. Hurst, cutting through all that in the contact.
Front into
Boom.
the fence goes
No caution yet.
Taylor
No caution
Hurst.
yet.
No
Everybody get
caution. They
sorted.
had to scatter. What a
You gotta be
mess of
kidding.
turn number 2. How are they still green? We may never know. The leaders, though, a new leader at the front. Who is it? I'm not there yet.
It's Harrison Lyon. Harrison
Really?
Lyon, now your leader. Started this race in 33rd spot. Lyon leads it now. Graham Boland all on his back door. Here comes Sheehan to the bottom.
And Graham Boland finds himself in second place. Kane Cook up into 4th. Jeremy Allen still sat in 5th. It seems like he's been on that spot all the race long as they've shuffled up and down all the way around him. He stayed right there. Could he be the one in the box seat watching, waiting and learning? As we get down to 31 laps to go in this race, Steve Sheehan giving a big push to the back of Graham Boland, who goes to the outside now of Harrison Lyon. Through turn 1 they go. Can he make it stick? Yaltian in the background, almost making contact with the car on the inside of Chris Overland. Believe that's Justin Levine trying to come back after a big moment through 4 with Jimmy Mullis as well. Huge separation in the field from these top 11 cars, 7 tenths separating them. 4 seconds back to 18th place. And that pack has dissipated massively as a result of that chaos out of 2.
Wow, and I talked about it early on. You lose that draft, it's really, really hard to get back. They might just be at the edge of it. It's only about just over a second back, but boy, again, you just don't want to get too far back. Gorlinski leads him. He's in 14, bringing Matt Adams with him. They're going to need more help than that.
Here comes Jeremy Allen to the middle. Graham Boland a little bit wide out of turn number 4. Steve Sheehan tries to go to the outside of Harrison Lyon. Now it's to go to the inside because Jeremy Allen was firmly in his way. Just couldn't make 4 wide happen that time around. Will we see 4 wide for the lead of the race before this one's done? Justin Levine, a big moment out of 2. Garrett Maines, Jimmy Mullis, Chris Overland having to go to the inside as they go 3 wide for the lead of the race. Caution's out.
Oh, and it was Justin Prince with trouble coming out of turn 2.
Well, at least he can go commentate the other race now.
Oh, don't put that on him. Oh no, you did. Oh no, he's gonna be mad at me.
He's got damage onto that machine, it looks like, to the front end. And we'll have a look at the replay and see what's unfolded for the driver of the number 26.
You know what? He blew it coming out of 3. The motor pops on him. I saw smoke come from the rear end of the car just before he slid. And I don't know if we caught that on camera, but I'll be real interested to get a report from JP on what exactly happened there, but he's all by himself. It popped coming out of 2. He lost the motor on that car.
Well, that's a big shame for him, running that tape a little bit too much, apparently. Yeah, it wasn't by himself. He did expect someone's going to blow their engine in a 2-mile track and be tucked up behind someone's rear bumper, but not the case for him. Everyone gonna come down and get some fresh boots on their cars once again. You know what this does, Sean? It closes up all those drivers that had that big crash without being a crash that brought out a caution back to the leading group.
They just got a break.
Oh, it's going to be a wild finish.
They just got a break. And there's no lucky dog on this one.
where's Santiago Tires? You would have thought he'd get it, and he is going to get it. He goes by the pace car.
Is
So
he? Okay.
Santiago Tires goes back on to the lead lap. His race is not done with yet.
We've already got cars heading out. Here comes Jeremy Allen. Allen's going to get out first.
Big move from Jeremy Allen. What did I say? He's been watching and waiting. Is he in the box seat? He's in the lead of the race. He took 2 tires. He's the only driver to do so.
Yeah, only one I'm seeing so far. I'm looking back. Actually, Chris James looked like he might have took 2. James going to roll out in 5th. I don't know. I think you're going to get 8 up, honestly, with just 2.
How long was that last
crazy,
run? It was about 20 laps, I believe, was it?
Yes, we got to the magic number of 20 once again.
Depends. We'll see. Maybe he was saving his stuff up. Maybe that's why he was in 5th. Well, we can only watch and learn and see how it unfolds then for the driver of the number 47 on broadcast, apparently. Oh yeah, custom numbers are a thing, aren't they, Sean?
Yes, they are.
I should someone remind me before the next broadcast to go ahead and turn them off or on or something. Is it turn them on?
Yeah,
Is that what I gotta do?
no, it's turn them off. You have to uncheck that actually, and I need to remember to check it when I get ready to roll over to my my next broadcast. Confusing, so confusing. Why so hard?
iRacing, please make it easier. No, it's a good addition. We see them being used in plenty of leagues and in the Coke Series. Good to see those custom numbers. You can do a lot of great things and make it really suit the livery you've got going on. We've got the one to go signal. Cautions have been extremely short tonight. It's been good.
Yeah, they don't. You know, it's kind of funny. You add a half mile to the track, such as a la Daytona or Talladega, and the caution period seems so much longer. Here at Auto Club Speedway, they seem to be pretty tidy. They get it wrapped up pretty quick, and we get back to racing. I might actually, well, I don't think I'm going to make it to the end of this one, buddy. In fact, I think I'm going to be bailing on you here in about 5 minutes or so.
Oh no, not Jay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, let's get it back underway then, so Sean can stay with us. Pace car will dive down out of 4, 2 tyres versus a whole lot of 4. Caution's been delayed. One more time. One more time around.
Yes, one more time around. Okay, now let's talk about the restarts though, okay? Because they have been frantic tonight. Every time I know, it's probably the 5th or 6th time I've said it, but they've been absolutely crazy. Tremendous potential for a big one here, and that's really what you got to avoid. We haven't seen a big one yet. We've seen a few near
Almost
big ones, but
yeah,
we've seen some almost big ones. But again, deep into the race where we're at right now, these cars are really used up. Coming to the end here, we're going to have 24 to go at the line. You really got to be careful here going into turn 1, as the blue cone has met another unfortunate death here during this caution period. Coming out of turn 2.
I just went back and
Mr.
had a look. The lights were never out of the pace car. I'm just blind.
Yeah, no, they weren't. Right, I think you are. Eat more carrots. Eat more carrots.
I was too keen to get this one back underway. This has been one of the best races we've. I think I've said this every week. It's been one of the best races I've called on an oval. Top split NIS puts on a show, doesn't it? This time, the lights are 100% out on the pace car. We're going to go back green. This time by Jeremy Allen. What can he do with those 2 tyres on the right side of that machine? He's got Harrison Lyon to his outside. Green flag at the starter's hands. Now it's in the air as Jeremy Allen jumps on that throttle, gets a good launch. Harrison Lyon will tried to come down across the front of Steve Sheehan, not going to do it. Kane Cook's going to push him on the outside. Shelton will get down to the inside. Garrett Maines is back there as well. And someone we haven't mentioned all race long is Chris James on the inside of Jimmy Mullis, Graham Boland and Ray Alfala back there too, as they fan out of turn number 2 and go 3 wide. A big move for Ray Alfala in the background to get to the inside of Chris James.
Another wild start. Cars, Mullis skating all over the place back there. Watch out.
Oh,
caution's out again. Oh, and it was a huge wreck in the back. Poor Randall Falk caught up in that. More trouble for Colin Bowden. Not a good night for him.
Well, that's
They were
a
3
shame.
wide. They were 3 wide, and it actually triggered off in front of him. It was Zach Hudson that had trouble all by himself, actually. And watching this replay here, you're going to see Hudson's car is going to take off on him down there in the bottom. Once they get done with the 3 wide, Hudson going to stay down on the bottom there and just boom across the track.
Big hit there to bring out the caution once more. Shame to see the caution out once again. We want to get this back underway, but we'll restack them and try again. Only a lap on the tyres. Don't expect to see anyone come down a pit road. And they won't. Harrison Line will stay out as a leader of the race. Take a look at this replay on board with Colin Bowden.
Keep seeing that. And nowhere to go for Colin. And he's going to execute a few barrel rolls there. I lost count.
I landed it. Give him 10 points for that. So
I lost count. You know what? He stuck it, in my opinion. I'm going to go with I'm going to say an 8.3 on that landing. Oh, I'm getting reports here that the check judge just checked in, and they're going with a 4.7. Something does not sound right with that landing. Okay, listen, gentlemen, it's been real fun and a lot of excitement, but I got to run. I'm going to let Jay Kennedy, SimSpeed's own Jay Kennedy, slide in and take over. Jonesy, I'll see you later, buddy. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for jumping in, Sean. We'll see you later. We'll see you next round for ISM. Going to Phoenix into the desert for round 4. Going to be a short track field for that one. Would you class it as a short track, Jay?
It's a sort of a hybrid, isn't it? It's got a short track feel, but a long track feel at the same time. It's an interesting track, and obviously the dogleg plays a big part into how the track behaves as well. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a very, very fun race. But you were saying before that this has been one of the best races that you've commentated. This has been probably the best oval race in regards to quality of driving and entertainment value that I think I've ever broadcast. So it's taken 8 years to get to this point, and I'm loving it. I'm so nervous, though. I feel as nervous as if I was actually in the race. It's an incredible battle out there, and the attrition rate is incredible as well. We've still got 32 drivers on the lead lap, all still going. So it's incredible how well this race has gone so far, and to see drivers that have come from all the way back in the field up to the front. We've seen drivers shuffling position the whole way through. It's been really, really good.
Well, this would be the 4th restart of the day, if I'm not mistaken. And I probably am, I always am. Still got another lap to go under the pace card, though. Light's not quite out just yet. So Harrison Line was able to take that lead away from Jeremy Allen. So Allen's going to be restarting on the outside now, those 2 tyres. First couple laps, we're not going to get a very big picture as to how they're going to stack up because of the cold tyre effect, which we've seen off every restart so far, has been a curse for a number of drivers out there. Jimmy Mullis is someone that's struggled a lot, it seems, on those cold tyres. He's currently running around in 7th place under this caution on the inside. for this restart. But once they come up to temperature, we'll see when whether those two tyres can hold up. On the outside, you'd expect to be able to keep up a decent amount of momentum. It's an interesting strategy call from Alan, isn't it? How many are we going to have to go? About 20 laps when we restart.
Yeah, I think that if a few other drivers did it with him, it would be a great call. But what he was hoping for was a few drivers that were in that 10th to 20th battle did the same thing to get some track position. Being the only driver to do it and in the lead pack anyway, it's probably a little bit of an interesting call, but at the same time, you've got to take that risk if you want that position. If those other drivers in that secondary group had have done it too, it would have been a great strategy call to get that track position, but with no one else doing it at all throughout the entire field, could be the wrong call, but we'll see how we go.
Well, of course, with 20 laps to go, the aggression is going to be as high as it's been all race long. Possibility for green-white checkers as well. Potentially 3 available to us that we can use should we need it. Hopefully we get a nice, clean, long green flag run to the finish here. Want to see something like we've seen already so far in this race. 3 wide, 4 wide. 4 wide, we've seen it a couple times back in the field. Haven't seen it yet at the front. We've seen 3 wide for the lead of the race. We haven't seen 4 wide. What about now? I wonder whether we're gonna see it, because these drivers back here on the 2nd and 3rd row, they want to get to the front. They do not want to be back there in the field if and when the chaos ensues. Pace car gets down out of the way. 20,000 horsepower, gonna come back to the green flag at Auto Club Speedway. Harrison Lyon gets that green flag in the air, and we're racing once more. Jeremy Allen just balked a bit on that restart along with Steve Sheehan. So Harrison Lyon's gonna have a pretty comfortable margin through 1 and 2 as they all go through here on the cold tyres. Can we make it a lap this time and get a good green flag run underway? You'd expect they might be a little bit conservative just for a lap to get these tyres back up to temp. As look at that, down the back straight away. Harrison Lyon hard on the defence. Steve Sheehan trying to find his way to the inside, has to go to the outside. Jarl Tien tried to find a way through as well as Sheehan has to fight the car. Chris Overland getting a big push from Graham Boland as he tried to catch the car. That was very fortunate for Overland not to find himself facing the fence or the infield care centre. And we go another lap green as Jarl Tien, oh, he's struggling on that car. Oh, it's a big tank slapper up into the fence. Garrett Maines is going to get involved. So is Real Fowler. And we're under caution once again. That's a shame. We're going to have to stack them up once more.
Yeah, we knew that the big one was going to come.
John Gorlinsky that got involved, not Real Fowler. Similar liveries on my screen.
Yeah, definitely knew that this was a possibility that we'd see a big one like that. Tien had been struggling, as you said, and just not able to keep the control there. Done that one all on his own, and here comes the secondary group of cars. So that secondary group actually got through okay. It was just the guys ahead of him at that time.
Yeah, only a few cars
Garrett Maines
actually
was
involved. Garrett Maines was one of the cars involved. John Gorlinsky just got into the side of him and has damaged his front end as a result. The number 8 went spinning sideways. That is Brendan McKissick, who's had some support in the chat, so that's going to be a fan favourite. Unfortunately, with damage to Jarl Tien, a driver that's been doing so well as well, was damaged to the front and the rear of that machine. And cold tyres, man, they're struggling out there. These cars so loose on those cold tyres. And Tien, he saved it seemed like, but the car just kept getting away from him. Every time he tried to save it, Garrett Maines got sideways and in to Brendan McKissick, trying to avoid Tien up against the fence. And when the cars are this close, there's not much you can do when you're in the position that Maines and Tien were in, and similarly John Gorlinsky.
Interesting there too. I think that's the first time all race that Tien had been in the middle 3 wide, and I think that could have had a bit of an impact there too. cold tyres being in the middle 3 wide, a little bit of push instantly, that's the end of it for you, because you're not going to be able to get that slide back. So that could have played an impact into it. Not 100% sure. There is a few drivers who have come into the pits as well to get another fresh set of boots, get a little bit of damage fixed. So some of those guys that are a little bit further back might take this as an opportunity to try and get some fresh boots and go back again. But haven't done too much green flag running on this set of tyres. I think only 4 or 5 laps total. So yeah, the tyres for these guys won't be too bad.
And the lucky dog going to go the way of William Morris back in 31st place. He'll get his lap back. And just have a look at where Brendan McKissick is. He's currently in the lane, getting some damage repaired. Just have a look at his car. Big damage to the left rear of that machine. The front looks alright. Slight bobble on the front right fender, or just on the bonnet. He might get lucky and have some pace.
It doesn't look too bad.
But he's going to be buried on the pack, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he had some good pace too. He was working his way forward. He's just gone a lap down as well, so... or is he still on the lead lap? No, still on the lead lap, so I'll just shut up. He's actually going to come out now and make sure that he stays on the lead lap. So the car must be in an okay condition. We'll see if he's got some pace. Fingers crossed for him. He does, because he was doing a fantastic job.
Certainly was. How about our top two? 22nd to 1st, Steve Sheehan. 33rd to 2nd for Harrison Lyon. 37th to 6th back there for Kane Cook. 36th to 7th for Graham Boland. Those two have followed each other through the field. Big movers in those 4 drivers. Jimmy Mullis, the pole sitter, starting to find his way back right when it matters, with it'll be 14 to go when we restart here. Back in 5th place after starting on the pole, having a few issues with the cold tyres. Jeremy Allen's back to 3rd place now. He's losing a spot on every restart.
It's amazing how much this field has shuffled from the start of the race. There's been a few drivers we haven't spoken about this entire race that have worked their way forward. Nicholas Shelton, currently in 10th position. I don't think we've mentioned his name at all in the number 14 car, so he's done a really, really good job as well, working his way through. Daniel Wilborn in 19th position. I haven't really talked about him. And Josh Mickelmore, who had that self-spin early on, he's in 21st, so he's been able to get onto the back of the pack now. He's able to stick with them, so good to see him back in with a shot. Of course, we're just talking about TN being out of the race, who's been probably the driver who's led the most laps as well. It's bit of a disappointment for him to have that issue, but it's going to be tough. There's legitimately 15 drivers in this field right now that you think would win this race.
100%. This is still anyone's game. Hopefully. I'm starting to lean towards getting that feeling that we're going to see a green-white checkered finish here today.
Yep.
And if we do get that, and you've got to wonder whether we're going to use all 3 attempts, such are the issues that these cold tyres are bringing at this 2-mile racetrack. With the green-white checker with 2 laps to go, it'll be, should we get it, drivers are going to be so aggressive on that first lap. You can't imagine the cold tyres being particularly agreeful in that scenario.
Well, we thought that last week too, that we'd end up with a few green-white checker attempts, because we'd had such a long run, and the early stages we had a few cautions. So we last week were predicting a little bit of a caution fest at the end, and we went green all the way to the end, about 60-something laps to the end. So, there's a chance that we could see that today. We've seen now a 5th caution, so fingers crossed we don't have any more. But drivers will be starting to strategize around what if, and I think the cold tyre restarts might play a little bit of an impact into whether these guys drive it too aggressively on those 2-3 to go sort of range.
Well, going to be 14 laps to the checkered here. Got to give a shout out to Michael James, who's just popped up on the YouTube chat. He's back in 22nd in this race, so texting and driving as you do. Under caution, got to keep yourself entertained somehow. And, now he's going to want to focus on this restart, because the pace car is going to dive down once again. Steve Sheehan will lead us back to the green flag in California. He goes early this time. Jeremy Allen can't go with him. And Harrison Lyon's going to clear Allen and tuck down in front of him as Real Fowler gets a big push from Kane Cook up there. Graham Boland trying to figure out which lane he wants to go with as well.
Those front guys have got away fairly clean, and it doesn't look like they've had too much issue with wheel spin or anything like that. It looks like actually everyone's got away fairly well. So fingers crossed we'll see it. But have a look at Sheehan again, straight to the inside on the back straight to try and block off a potential move from Harrison Lyon.
Lyon's going to have the run here coming out of turn number 4, even as they come to the start-finish stripe. He's going to have to look to the outside because Steve Sheehan's defending that inside line. And now Jeremy Allen is going to get to the inside of Harrison Lyon as well as Real Fowler, using all of the available racetrack on the entry to 1. Kane Cook coming under fire from Jimmy Mullis, who takes him 3 wide down this back straightaway. Mullis on the inside, Cook in the middle, and Alfala up top. I don't think Mullis has got the run this time by to make it work, and no he doesn't. Has to tuck in behind Cook and goes backwards now. Graham Boland's going to get to his inside.
This is much better. The pack sort of sorting itself out a little bit more, and those front 10 or so starting to break away a tiny little bit. We've got a slow car out on the track there, the 18
3
car.
wide up the front.
Oh no.
Jeremy Allen split the middle, and Harrison Lyon had to tuck behind as he was caught 3 abreast on the outside. Steve Sheehan leaves it, goes to the inside of the track to cover it off, as in the background, Kane Cook down even further to the inside than Steve Sheehan is. Real Fowler behind him, trying to find a way through. Out of turn 4, going to be 10 laps to go here in Fontana as they get to the start-finish stripe once again. Harrison Lyon going to give the push to the back of Sheehan and got a little bit out of shape under that rear spoiler. Allen had to just dart to the outside. Real Fowler contact with Kane Cook, gets sideways down on the apron in the background, but holds onto it, but loses out a bunch of spots. Justin Levine and Ryan Kuhn will go by as well, and he's going to have to defend it from Chris James, who's now on his outside. So Alfala gets exited out of the fight for the lead. And now it's Harrison Lyon, who's got Jimmy Mullis and Kane Cook to his outside. Mullis starting to find some speed here on this green flag run.
Just saw Galinsky in the pit, so potentially a penalty from the restart. All these drivers are getting quick now. We're seeing times into the 39s for the first time all race long. So the pace of this race has actually picked up. Only 8.5 laps to go. This is an incredible battle. And as we said before, any one of this front group could win as they're looking to go 4 wide in the background.
4 wide, well that could be trouble.
Oh no,
3 wide, incredibly close. Who's that down on the inside? Chris James holds onto it, but goes backwards in behind now. Santiago Tires. It wasn't Chris James, it was Boyd Hogan actually.
Yep.
That went backwards, sliding on the inside of that very tight 3 abreast. As the top 6, a 2x2, top 8 make that through turn number 2. And Jeremy Allen, he's making the moves on the outside. Mullis trying to find his way to the inside. Steve Sheehan said, no thank you, that's my line. Through the block, chased him back up the racetrack as well. Little bit of contact, they keep it straight though for now. 7 laps to go. Here comes Mullis to the inside. 3 wide for the lead of the race. Can Mullis take it away into turn number 1? Sheehan's got to go run through the middle though. Jeremy Allen can't keep it on the outside. Goes back to P3 and now to the inside of Jimmy Mullis.
Amazing that contact between Sheehan and Mullis. It wasn't a bigger incident there. It was a fairly decent hit, but Sheehan's got to be a little bit careful of throwing those blocks because now the guys are starting to realise how aggressive he is being with them. I don't think these guys are going to be too friendly with him coming up with 6, 5, 4, 3 laps to go. There's a potential that they might not check up quite as much as they are now. Excited to see how it plays out as there's almost contact there between Mullis and Lyon.
Oh, and similarly between Boland and Mullis. Mullis running a risky game at the moment, making moves, wants to get himself out of P number 3. And again, the big block from Steve Sheehan. Jeremy Allen can't get to his inside, has to go back to the outside, back to the inside. And being chased up and down this racetrack by Steve Sheehan, doing a superb job to hold on to the lead of this race. But can he do it for 5 more laps here at California? Under the sunny skies. Track temps come down as well. That's aiding the lap times, getting a little bit more grip out there for these drivers. Jeremy Allen takes it away, courtesy of a big push from Jimmy Mullis. There was contact in the background between the number 5 and the number 14. Nicholas Shelton loses a few spots, but up front, now Jimmy Mullis is in second. Sheehan's gone back to third. Those 2 tyres working well for Allen.
Yeah, surprised that these 2 tyres that he took at that last stop are working as well as they are. I think the fact that we've had a couple of caution laps has helped, but here comes Sheehan looking to come back again. Jimmy Mullis is going to be stuck on the outside. The single file except for Mullis in this lead group, but the secondary group are looking to go 3 wide.
Oh, Graham Boland finds himself on the outside of Harrison Lyon. Those 2 so tight coming into turn number 1. As there's a lap car all the way down to the apron. He'll stay well and truly out of the way of this leading group. Jeremy Allen going to get help from Steve Sheehan. Down on the inside, Harrison Lyon and Kane Cook lined up down there too. The outside not formed particularly well. No help for Jimmy Mullis up top. Steve Sheehan with a good run. What does he do with it? Does he push or does he go to the inside? He goes to the inside and takes him 3 wide, 3 laps to go. And Fontana, and now 3 abreast in the turn 1. Is anyone going to lift? No, they're going to go 3 wide through the corner. But Mullis can't keep the car on the outside. And in the fence in the background is Graham Boland. Gets a bit sideways up against that wall, but keeps it straight. He goes backwards as well.
Yeah, heap of damage to Graham Boland's car, but we're staying green. And this is on for the lead of the race. They are going to get 2 to go. And they cross the line. Oh, this is going to be incredible.
2 laps to go. Steve Sheehan down to the inside of Jeremy Mullen. Jimmy Mullis. Oh, that's so close to the left rear of Sheehan. Mullis just can't find his way into the lead of this race as they come out of turn 2. It's still Jeremy Allen holding it tough around the outside. Jimmy Mullis will stay glued to the rear bumper of that number 47, the number 2 iRacing in this room. Sheehan pokes his nose out front out of turn number 4. Can he clear him? No, he can't, because Jeremy Allen has a push. White flag in the air one more time around. No quarter going to be given here as Mullis gives a big push. Contact with Lyon. Mullis' chances of a race win are done as he goes back to P number 5. Right behind Justin Levine and Kane Cook for the first time in a number of laps. It's single file for the top 2. Jeremy Allen down the back straight away. Leads Steve Sheehan into turn number 3. Has Sheehan got anything for him as they come out of the final corner? But it's not going to be. Jeremy Allen, the 2-tyre gamble pays off and he gets it done in Fontana.
Wow, what a race that was. What a battle at the end. Congratulations to Jeremy Allen. What a fight. I have to feel sorry for Graham Boland and also for Jimmy Mullis there, because those 2 guys deserved a little bit better result. Steve Sheehan defended that position very, very well. Some of the moves are probably going to be a little bit frowned upon by some of the drivers, but it worked for him and he's able to hold on for P2. Would have wanted one more spot, but P2 is still a pretty decent result. But Jeremy Allen, congratulations.
Well, I said with a few cautions still to come in this race. Look, Jeremy Allen had been sat back in 5th place all race, it seemed. Was he just watching and waiting, learning and making sure he knew what to do come the final stages of the race? Well, he knew exactly how those tyres were going to handle. He took that 2-tyre gamble and it paid off absolute dividends. and he wins here in Fontana. 3 different race winners from our first 3 races of the NASCAR iRacing Series season. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Friday night time slot each and every week. Strength of field today, 5,780. And as Jeremy Allen celebrates his race victory, we're going to go to a break here on SimSpeed TV. When we come back, you'll have the official results here at Auto Club Speedway and interviews, hopefully, with our race winner.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Ray Alfala into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
I trying this contact though.
Slide left of the racetrack. Chris Benner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe. Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Makashube, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome back to Auto Club Speedway. The results from a thrilling race, margin of victory in the end. 0.5 tenth of a second. Jeremy Allen gets it done over Steve Sheehan. Harrison Lyon home in third from 33rd on the grid. From 37th on the grid to 4th for Kane Cook. Jimmy Mullis, so many hair-raising moments on cold tyres for him. Still managed a 5th place finish. Justin Levine in 6th, Ray Alfala in 7th, Santiago Tires fought back from 2 laps down to claim 8th. Fantastic comeback for him. Nicholas Shelton in 9th, and Brian Mercurio in 10th.
How's that to the top? What's that? Top 10 a second. That's incredible how close that race was. Ryan Kuhn in 11th place with James Jeans in 12th. Congratulations. Michael Jeans in 12th. Congratulations to him. We've got David Lamb in 13th. Chris Overland in 14th position. Graham Boland held on for 15th with that huge damage to his car after hitting the wall 3 laps from the end. Chris James in 16th position. Matt Adams in 17th. Gabriel Mercio is in 18th position with Edward Birch in 19th and Connor Hale in position number 20.
21st at the line was Garrett Maines. 22nd, Joshua Campbell, ahead of Jose Solis Jr., Boyd Hogan, Daniel Wilborn in 25th, Braden Boulos in 26th, ahead of Jesse Atchison, Josh Micklemore, Brendan McKissick. William Morris was the first car a lap down. The rest of the drivers are the ones that had issues in this race. And most likely a retirement from this one. Well, last week, we had a couple of interviews. We had Jimmy Mullis, we had Zach Novak, but no one's come to join us today, have they, Jay?
Unfortunately not, but that's okay. I think our voices need a rest anyway, because that was one of the best races. We both said it. One of the best races we've ever...
talking for half the race.
I know, but I've got to save my voice for Porsche at the end. End of the day, it's still 8 hours away. That's one of the best oval races we have ever broadcast in SimSpeed TV in our 8 years of running. So that was one of the best races we have ever done. So congratulations to the drivers putting on one of the best shows we have watched ever. And the funny thing is, the last 2 weeks were probably up there with some of the best races we've ever broadcast as well.
Yeah, NASCAR iRacing Series top split. Incredible racing, incredible action. Week in, week out. Next week, we go to ISM Speedway in Phoenix for round 4 of the season. But before then, plenty more races coming up on the iRacing Esports Network. Make sure you like the video. If you enjoyed that one, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all our latest broadcasts. Make sure you like SimSpeed TV as well on YouTube and on Facebook. So up to date with all our latest adventures in the sim racing world. We've got some more coming up today. Major Series, the international region, coming up at 4:45 Australian Eastern Standard Time, 5:45 Daylight Time. Use Google for your local conversion there. I'm not doing that in my head. Plus Porsche, the final round of the qualifying series as well, a few hours after that, just before midnight for poor old Jay. And the 8 Scops, the Premier Supercar Series on iRacing tomorrow as well, on the iRacing Esports Network. If you want to watch round 4, make sure you come back at 9 p.m. Friday night Eastern Time next week. And it'll be me and Sean once again up in the booth. Jay Kennedy behind the scenes for that one. I already cannot wait for that one. Should be a cracker. But from myself, Ryan Jones, from Jay Kennedy alongside me, and from Sean Ambrose, who was in the booth for the large majority of this race as well. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you next time.
This is fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got with the outside of both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson. Anderson's up to
Oh my god!
Big crash. Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled.
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, here we go!
Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?